Shalom, shalom. That's your brother Azrael hopping back on the 30 for 30. This video is going to be a good little video. I ain't going to say quick, but this is going to be a good little video with a lot of precepts to give us a better understanding of why judgment has to play out, who judgment's getting played out to, right? And how that benefits the children of Israel, right? The nation of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Negro American, right? So-called. So we're going to give all glory and praise and honor and reverence to the Most High God, the Heavenly Father, right? The power of powers. Salaki, if you hear airplanes, I'm by the airport, right? By the way of his son, the King, right? Our Savior, our salvation, and instrument of salvation, who the majority of our nation knows as Yahweh Shai, right? Parts of our nation knows him as Yeshaya, right? But we're going to stick to the Messiah, man, the Son of Man. All right, so we're going to get straight into it. All right, so this is day 10 of 30, right? We be coming with straight heat, trying to edify the nation, trying to better the nation through these videos, you know what I'm saying? And trying to increase the zeal of the nation, right? And so with that, you know what I'm saying, I really have been increased myself. It says, as I minister to you, I minister also to myself, right? I believe Paul said that. And, you know, I really want to do a 30 for 30 right after this 30 for 30, right? But we're going to get into it, his judgment, right? Because a lot of people, it's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world right now, and people don't seem to care, right? So we on day 10 of 30, day 10 of 30, right? And that's the third part. That's the third part of the 30 for 30, right? Hey, Christ was sold for 30 shekels of silver. So it's only right that we do 30 videos to make up for that 30 shekels, right? Because we all know that they didn't take that 30 shekels, right? We all know that in the book of Matthew, in the book of Mark, they didn't take that 30 shekels, man. They went and buried it, man, in the field of blood. So we doing this 30 for 30 right now to make up for that 30 shekels, right? That they said let that blood be on our children, right? So we got judged for something we didn't do. So judgment is on the earth. Judgment is on the scene, right? So the very first precept we're going to get is about the 2/3, right? And the third, because this is the third part of the 30 for 30, 10 out of 30, all right? So let's go to Zechariah, the prophet, the minor prophet, Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. What is this talking about? It's talking about our nation, the nation of Israel, right? It's talking about the people that's partying right now, the people that's going to that's vacationing right now, the people that's you know what I'm saying, in Las Vegas at the pool with a KFC bucket on their hat and white sunglasses. It's talking about those people that don't know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the flood is coming. They don't see the people building the ark. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's talking about, the 2/3, the people that want to do what they want. They want to worry about chasing the bag. It's talking about in the truth and outside the truth. You know what I'm saying? I believe 1/3 of that 2/3 is in the truth, and I believe 1/3 of that 2/3 is outside the truth of the nation of Israel. Inside the nation of Israel, we got people focused on the wrong things, right? And they end up being Pharisees, right? They end up being hypocrites. They end up claiming to know the scripture, right? But they don't do it. They end up claiming to know the Sabbath, but they don't follow it. They don't keep it holy. They plan on, they know the scripture, but they don't want to wear their fringes. They just want to tell you, I'm up on game. You know what I'm saying? They just want to tell you, oh, I'm already hip. I'm already knowing. You know what I'm saying? You can't get to the Father and say you already knowing, and he just going to let you in, right? You can't say, when you get to the Father, you can't say, hey, look, I was already hip to that thing. I knew I was an Israelite. He's not going to let you in. He's going to tell you like it says in Matthew, I think 26, about the marriage. He's going to tell you just like he told that one person that was caught in the marriage without wedding attire on, right? He's going to say, friend, how did you get in? He's going to call you a friend. He's going to mock you in your day of calamity. He's going to say, friend, how did you get in? And your heart's going to fail you, right? Because you did not keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Because on that strange salvation, that day when you can look in the boldness and you can look everybody face to face on those who got saved, guess what? You're going to realize that you didn't do what you were supposed to do. That's 1/3. And then you got the 1/3 outside the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's focused on chasing a bag. That's focused on, you know what I'm saying, stacking their coins. That's focused on being like the next rap star. Being like the next Instagram model. The one that's focused on, you know what I'm saying, materialistic things. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it's 2/3 going to get cut from our nation, going to get purged out for being rebellious. And I believe that 2/3 is a makeup of in the truth and outside the truth. So it's a narrow path. It's a straight gate. You know what I'm saying? Only one can go in at a time. That's how straight it is. And that's how diligent we have to be, because his judgment, hey, his hand is heavy, right? Let's go to a gift destroyeth the heart, because we just talked about the 2/3 of our nation that's going to be cut off, right? Because a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us, we get blessed here on this earth. We get blessed here, you know, in so-called Babylon, and we think that that's a gift from the Most High God. We think we're blessed, and because we think we're blessed with that blessing, you know, we don't even understand that we're not in His graces anymore. We just think that we're blessed. So guess what? That adds sin to sin, and next thing you know, that's eternal damnation. So woe unto those people that have a gift that destroyeth the heart. Right? Let's get that real quick. In Ecclesiastes 7:7. Bear with me real quick. Ecclesiastes 7:7 reads, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. Hey, and that's twofold. You know what I'm saying? Oppression makes a wise man mad, right? That's mad as in angry, yeah. And that's mad as in crazy, like a lunatic, right? When you being oppressed all the time, you know, sometimes questions come in your head like, is prophecy really gonna play out? You know, and then you find yourself doing folly. You find yourself abusing grace because you don't understand. You're mad. You're a lunatic. You know what I'm saying? You're mad that you're oppressed. So now, guess what you're doing? You're taking the Lord's name in vain by saying that you're a child of God, but now you're selling dope because you don't believe that He's going to give you a job. He's not going to give you stability. You think He's going to make you take the shot. He's going to make you get tested. So guess what you're doing? You trying to figure out things on your own. You're literally mad. Oppression makes a wise man mad. All of his people are wise. Right? Let's keep reading. Verse 7. And a gift destroyeth the heart. A lot of us get a gift and it destroys our heart. Right? We start loving the enemy. Right? What else happens when a gift destroys the heart? You lose sight of the goal that's in mind. Right? You might be gifted something, and you might, because judgment is not executed speedily, you know, your heart might be destroyed because you're looking at other things instead of looking at the art that's being built. You know, we're in the last days. You know what I'm saying? So a gift destroyeth the heart. A lot of our brothers and sisters, a gift has destroyed their heart, and they in Stockholm syndrome. Right? They don't know who their brother is and who they should stick up for, who their adversary is and who they should agree with. They don't know. They don't know when those so-called 10 commandments, right, was written, what they was written for and who they was written for. They think, you know, a gift destroyeth the heart. And that's what America did to us, man. When they took us out of slavery, they started giving us jobs, right? They started letting us be entertainers, and they started giving us nice things, and that destroyed our heart as a nation. You know, that destroyed our heart as a people, because now we forget, oh, we got all this, but we don't have land. We got all this, but we don't have our own heritage. We got all this, but we don't have our own Salakia. We don't have our own clothes. We don't have our own clothes, right? We don't have our own freedom. We can't walk into a hospital, get help, and leave. We have to wait for them to sign us out. That's slavery. That's prison. You know what I'm saying? You can't take your own newborn child. I put that video up before and people was mocking and scoffing, saying everybody knows if you go into a hospital, you have to get, what's the word for when they sign you out? I forgot the word for it, but everybody knows when you go into the hospital, you have to get signed out. You can't just leave. Hey, that's prison. That's slavery. That is slavery. You're in captivity when you can't take your newborn home when you want to. When you can't fly out of the country. You hear them planes right now? You can't fly out the country when you want to. That's slavery. Discharge, con. You can't get discharged when you want to. Medical discharge. Medical discharge, cons. Con. You can't get medical discharge out of Babylon. Guess what? That's slavery. Right? And somebody got to pay for that slavery. Right? What goes around comes around. So let me get the next precept. Sirach 39:1. Right? Because like I said, oppression makes a wise man mad. A gift destroyeth the heart. And if you're not focused on what's happening in the world, you're gonna get caught by surprise. He said, do not be lacking. So you're not caught lacking like a thief in the night. Right? He's gonna come like a thief in the night, and he's going to spoil all of your goods that you thought were blessings because you were not prepared. Because when you saw everybody else building the ark, you said, I have time. You know what I'm saying? Because you said, I read every now and then. I pray every now and then. I'm in the truth. I show up for the holy days. I do the bare minimum. Right? So what is he saying? You're going to get caught like a thief in the night. You're going to run out of oil. 5 foolish virgins, right? And then the 5 wise virgins, right? The 5 foolish virgins were still seeking the Most High. They left the house at the same time as the wise virgins. They just didn't grab oil before they left. They weren't wise. You know what I'm saying? So they were still seeking the Most High. Just like the some of those seeds that got tossed onto stony ground and they found a crack and they grew up, right? They had a zeal for the Most High God, not according to knowledge, because it did not last. They were not occupied in prophecy. So what did the Bible say when the apostles asked him and the disciples asked him, Lord, what is this parable, right? What did he tell them? He told them, hey, this seed right here is like one that had a zeal for the Most High God, but when the sun came up, it dried it up and it withered away because they were not able to stand it. Why? Because they were not rooted. They were not rooted. You're not rooted in this thing, man. You're not rooted if you think doing the bare minimum is going to get you into the kingdom, right? So let's go to Sirach 39:1. We got to be occupied in prophecy, right? Let me read. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof. So, hey, guess what? When you read in this book, that's a commandment. Blessed are the readers. You know what I'm saying? He that readeth, blessed is that person. You can't just go day by day and not read, right? I'm in a group right now of some Akim, right? And we try to fast every week. We try to read every week, you know what I'm saying? And part of the reading this week was reading 10 chapters a day. Now, if you're not used to reading 10 chapters a day, it can kind of get on your nerves, right? When the Satan will come and make the Most High get on your nerves. When you say reading gets on your nerves or it becomes annoying to you, that's like saying that Most High is annoying to you, right? But what is it telling us here? It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law, right? This book of the law, the first 5 books, right? You got to meditate in that thing of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof. Meditation, right? We got to think on these things. When you read, if you catch yourself reading through something and you know how everybody read, you know what I'm saying, from school, and you read something and you don't really remember what you read, go back and read it. That's meditation. We got to meditate on these things, right? Occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, right? Everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning, right? All of our forefathers who are ancient, right, who are sleeping right now, guess what? They wrote stuff not for vain purposes. They wrote it for us. Like we making these videos, these 30 for 30 videos, you know what I'm saying? This is not for me. Well, it is for me too, because as I minister to myself, I minister to you, but it's for the nation. I pray, my heart's desire, that somebody can be saved through these videos. Somebody's zeal is increased through these videos. Somebody's edification is more clarified in these videos, right? Wisdom of all ancient and be occupied in prophecies, right? So when I talked about those 2/3, we're going to have 2/3 of people that's not occupied in prophecy. And that's in the truth too. How are you in the truth and you don't know what's going on? You look at somebody's story and you say, what's going on? You're going off. You're not occupied in prophecy. That's a commandment. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be caught like a thief in the night. You're going to be caught like that foolish virgin with no oil. Because when prophecy is speeding up and you're still in a daze, you might as well be like the people that mocked and scoffed Noah. You wasn't help building the ark. You wasn't being a watchman or a watchwoman. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know. And a lot of times, you know, and I was talking about this to my rib. A lot of times, you know, a lot of our women, they'll get caught out there because they're easily influenced by certain things. They're easily distracted by certain things. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a head to keep you strong, right, steadfast and focused, right? And it's likewise too, but I see it more time in women. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a head to kind of keep you steadfast in prophecy, you're going to kind of worry about purses and dresses and worry about your job and worry about making money and worry about having kids, because that's what's on y'all's mind. Y'all know it's a reproach to be single. Y'all know it's a reproach not to have kids. You know what I'm saying? One of our foremothers said, give me a kid or lest I die. Right? So guess what? We can't slumber. He took that spirit of slumber off of us. Now we have eyes to see, ears to hear. We got to put them to use. Right? We have to be occupied in prophecies. Right? Sirach 39:1. Let's go on. Right? People gonna get caught. Because right now we're building our ark. You know what I'm saying? Carnally, people are stacking up food. People is buying weapons. You know what I'm saying? Carnally, people are preparing, you know what I'm saying, for when stuff is mandatory. And they make you drink your Ovaltine. Right? If you know what I mean. They're going to make you drink your Ovaltine. You know what I'm saying? So things are ramping up. So what does that mean? We got to build the ark. Right? That's all a part of building the ark. Because guess what? People are saying you're a conspiracy theorist. People saying you're crazy. They were saying that to Moses. People were saying, okay, you're saying, I had told some people about the Taliban in China and Russia linking up together and tell them it was biblical prophecy. They said Joe Biden's working with the Taliban. The Most High not dealing with Joe Biden, man. You could keep thinking, you can mock and scoff all you want to the prophets of the Lord and the word of the Most High God, but guess what? His judgment still got to come. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Matthew 24, right? Matthew 24 and 37. Right? Matthew 24 and 37. Matthew 24 and 37. Well, let me get that. First of all, let me get, I think it's Second Chronicles 11 and 22, if I'm not mistaken. Or 16 and 36. Bear with me. Second Chronicles 16:36. Slocky, while I got this, I'm about to just, you know what I'm saying, use my quick dagger real quick. Hold on. Salakia. But yeah, man, they mocking the prophets. Just like they mocked Lot. When Lot went and told the husbands of his daughters, right, his son-in-laws, when he told them, hey, look, the Most High finna destroy this place, he was mocked, man. They didn't believe him. They actually got kind of offended. Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? You know what I'm saying? They kind of got offended at him. Just like when people kept preaching about the Messiah, right, and giving glory and praise to him, and some of the Pharisees was condemning him, right? His own mom was offended. His own brothers and sisters was offended. People get offended at the prophets. People mock and scoff us. You know what I'm saying? So this is Second Chronicles 36 and 16, right? Second Chronicles 36 and 16, and it reads, but they mocked the messengers of God. That's what we are. We're messengers of God. We're his prophets. We're his servants. We're his saints. We're his elect. We're his people. We're his children. We're his sons. Right? We're his sheep. We're his flock. That's who we are. Right? Second Chronicles 36 and 16. But they mocked the messengers of God and despised his words and misused his prophets. A lot of people put us in their back pocket. They say that they in the truth. They follow us. They follow all the Israelite pages, and they put us in their back pocket to what? To misuse his prophets. Right? I'm going to keep them in my back pocket just in case hit the fan. Crap hit the fan. I'm going to keep them in my back pocket just in case, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling a little spiritual one day. Just in case I want to go to a holy day. In case I want to go to a holy day. I don't really want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep them in my back pocket, and I'm going to live my life. I'm not going to preach the gospel. I'm not going to teach. I'm not going to baptize people in the word and in physical. I'm not going to do either or. I'm just going to do my own thing. Focus on me and my shawty, my side piece. You know what I'm saying? My baby mom, my kids, and making this bread. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to misuse his prophets until the wrath of the Lord rose against his people till there was no remedy. Right? It's not going to be no remedy. It says we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. You can't find no Ovaltine, right? You can't drink no Ovaltine, no mandatory Ovaltine. No remedy is going to stop judgment, right? So let me get this right here in Matthew 24. Where was I at? Matthew 24, Salakia, in 37, right? Matthew 24 and verse 37 reads, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall all the coming of the Son of Man be." Right? Matthew 24 and 37. "But as the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be." What does that mean? When people saw him building that ark, he said it's going to rain. They're listening to the weatherman. They're not listening to the prophets of God. Right? They didn't stop to give Moses some water. Some of them might have even gave Moses a drink. Say, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you might want to take this, my guy. You're going to be working for a minute. That's a big ark you building for no reason. Right? They might have mocked him. And guess what he said? He said, hey, look, I'll take your water. Because in the day of judgment, the Most High God's going to fill your bellies with water until you can't breathe. Right? He's going to mock you in your calamity. He's going to laugh at you. Right? As the days of Noah, we building the ark. We preaching the gospel. We're preparing physically, carnally, mentally, emotionally. Right? So let me go on. He's going to come like a thief in the night. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Hebrews 10 and 31. Right? Because we're talking about judgment. We're talking about judgment. Hebrews 10 and 31. Because you can't escape judgment, man. You can't. It said there's no remedy. Right? Hebrews 10 verse 31. Salakia. Alright. It says, this is the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God." Hey, the Most High God's hands is heavy. Right? What does it mean that, hey, people tell me I got heavy hands all the time. You know what I'm saying? I might dap somebody up. I might put my hands on my rib. She might say I got a heavy hand, but the Most High God's hand is heavy. What does that mean? You can't lift it off once it's on you. Once it's on you, you cannot lift it off. He got that baby grip. Everybody knows that baby grip is too strong. It won't let you let go. He's not. Once his hand is on you, once the Most High God's hand is on you, he's gonna either do something terribly great or something marvelously, terribly disastrous. You know what I'm saying? He could be marvelous or he could be terrible. And you know what I'm saying? According to the Bible, you know, it's kind of opposite day. Because terrible means good and marvelous means bad. Right? So his judgment is going to be terrible. And once that hand is on you, it says, let me read that again. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 37. Salakia. Hebrews chapter 10, verse, Salakia. What did I say? Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31, right? It says, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God." His hands is heavy. You can't lift them hands off you. You ever had a friend that just was too touchy and they put their hand on your shoulder when they laugh and stuff and their hand is just so heavy you can't get it off? You kind of pushing them off of you. You can't push the Most High God off you. There's no remedy. Once that arrow is shot from a mighty archer, it can't return back to the sender. Once that rain falls from the cloud, it can't return up. Science will have you thinking that the raindrops can fly up, but the Bible tell you once that rain falls down, it can't return back to the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Judgment has to come. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Numbers 35 and 33, because our people need explanation. You know what I'm saying? And this is milk. This is definitely milk. You know, Numbers 35, 33. It's definitely milk, but sometimes, our people need to keep hearing this because, like I said, a gift destroyeth the heart. And a lot of us, we end up growing to love our oppressor because we got a nice job and because they treat us right on our job, because we got a new car and we go to work every day and sit at a desk, or, because so-and-so made that business deal with us and now we're able to get a promotion. A gift destroyeth the heart. And you might start thinking, they're not all that bad. It doesn't matter if they're all not that bad, because guess what? Our ancestors were not all that bad when they were made us serve with rigor. Our ancestors was not all that bad when they slayed us for no reason, just because they wanted land. So we got to read this. Number 35 and 33 reads, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. He's talking to the children of Israel here, right? Because he's going to tell us the judgment for that, what happens when you pollute the land that you're in, right? Like the tribe of Dan. Right? We can't pollute the land, right? For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of them that shed it. Hey, he's saying right now, you reap what you sow. So don't defile it, because if you defile it, guess what? I got to put my terribly heavy hand on you. I got to put my baby grip on you. I'm not going to let go. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, guess what? This is a warning for all my people. And when you see it done, just know that their judgment's coming, right? Numbers 35 and 33. So let's go on. Exodus 21 and 16. Exodus 21 and 16. It says, the book of Exodus chapter 21 and verse 16. And from thence they went. Salakia. I was in Numbers. Exodus 21 and 16 reads, Salakia. Exodus 21 and 16 reads, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he, this is more judgment. This is in the law. People always ask me all the time, what book should I read? What's your favorite book? I'm new in the truth. Where should I start? Because the Christian church tells me to start with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, right? I tell them, hey, look, you're an Israelite. You know that you're an Israelite, and you don't know the laws. You don't know the prophets. You don't know the statutes. You don't know the ordinances. Go to the first 5 books, right? This is Exodus. Go to the first 5 books and learn your history, your heritage. Get some wisdom, get some understanding, get some knowledge. You want to know what books to start with? The first 5, the Torah. Then go to Tanakh. And then go to the Apocrypha. Then go to the New Testament. Because you can't learn unless you read in order. Everything must be done decent and in order, right? And then you get understanding when you read in order by the precepts. That's when you get your understanding. After you read in order, then you go back, get your understanding, and you go precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little, right? So this is Exodus chapter 21, chapter 21 and verse 16. And he that stealeth a man, this is understanding now, this is wisdom. He that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if, who got stolen? Who got sold, right? No other than the people that observe the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and blacks. You know what I'm saying? Those people, I say Negro because, hey, look, phenotype, you know what I'm saying, is not the same as genotype. Phenotype, you're going to have a lot of different looking Negroes. You know what I'm saying? But genotype, that's the blood. That blood don't change. That blood don't change. You see what I'm saying? So who got stolen? Our people got stolen. So he gave us some wisdom and knowledge and some comfort. It says through the comfort of the scriptures, right? And we get hope, right? My aunt just brought that out last night. Through the comfort of the scriptures, we get hope, right? And he that stealeth the man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So everybody that stole us, everybody that put a price on our head, they should surely be put to death. You know what I'm saying? Judas sold the Most High son for 30 shekels. He was surely put to death. He put himself to death, right? Because when he tried to repay what he sold him for, they wouldn't take it. So he understood that the price of that was death. He had some knowledge of the law, right? So let's move on, right? So this is why, you know what I'm saying, you can't steal his children. This is why you can't steal his elect, his church, the candles, the light. You can't steal the lawgivers, the people that get the promise, the people that got the covenants. You can't steal these people. This is why right here, right? So let's go to Jeremiah 2 and 3. Jeremiah 2 and 3. Right? Read the minor prophets and the great prophets, right? The major prophets, right? Because, hey, look, like I said, everything written aforetime. They didn't just write. Salakia. Hey, look, Satan comes to take away the word. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, look, the prophets, they couldn't make IG lives. They couldn't make videos. You know what I'm saying? So what they do, they had to write these books. Everything was written for our learning, just like these videos. You know what I'm saying? What'd I say? Jeremiah 2 and 3. Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 3. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 3. This is why he that stealeth the man got to be put to death. He that steals the children of Israel got to be put to death. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 3. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase. Hey, look, everybody knows that the law and the commandment, right? This is how you get precept upon precept gets you understanding, right? So when you read this, you should, as soon as you see first fruits, you should think about all the laws and commandments that deal with first fruits. You know what I'm saying? It says Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase. We were his first fruits. So what comes with first fruits? You're not supposed to buy first fruits. You're not supposed to sell first fruits. You're supposed to save it, right? And consecrate it. Separate it. You know what I'm saying? But they stole us. They sold his first fruits. They're in violation of the law. So judgment has to play out. Somebody got to be put to death according to the law, right? According to Exodus, somebody has to be put to death for stealing and selling his first fruits. Right? So let me read that from the top. This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and 3. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, in the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord. Hey, look, you touch his anointing, you offend one of his little children, like it says in Matthew, like it says in Mark, right? You offend one of his little children, guess what? It says, all that devour him shall offend. So the people that's devouring us in food, literally, the people that's devouring us in defiled bread, we're eating GMOs. You know what I'm saying? The people that's defiling us and making us work on Saturdays, that doesn't take our religion serious, that making us eat pepperoni pizza. You want to devour us? Guess what? Let's read on what it say. Evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord, saith the Most High God, the Heavenly Father, right? The power of powers. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep moving. Let's move on. Ezekiel 48 and 14. Ezekiel chapter 48 verse 14. Ezekiel 48 14. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 48. Salakia. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 48 and verse 14. All right. And they shall not sell of it, neither exchange. What is this talking about? This is the commandment of the first fruits. And they shall not sell of it, neither exchange, nor alienate the first fruits of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. It says Israel was holiness. It says we were his first fruits. So you can't sell it. You can't exchange it, right? The slave trade, you can't exchange it. You can't exchange us. You can't put us on a boat and ship us off to different islands and different lands. Evil's going to come upon you. His judgment, his hand is heavy, right? Heavy hands, right? Deuteronomy 28:68, right? We got to get that, because that's what they did. They sold his first fruits. That's proof. There's proof that they sold his first fruits. 28 and 68. This is a staple. If you're in the truth, it's no way, shape, or form you don't know 28:68, right? It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, right? These weren't just regular ships. These were cargo ships. These were slave ships, right? These were first fruit ships. I got your first fruits here. First fruits of the Most High's increase will increase your land, right? They put auction blocks on us, right? The children of Israel. Thou shalt see it no more again. Salakia. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So we got exchanged. You know what I'm saying? We got exchanged. Salakia. This is Revelation 18 and 21, right? The last book of the Bible is going to talk to you about what? About judgment, about his heavy hand, about who his judgment's coming to. Revelation 18. What the? Hey, look, that's Satan, man, coming quickly to choke the seed, right? Just like the sower. Revelation 18, Salakia. Revelation 18 and 21 reads, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, right? Shout out to GMS. Shalom. Took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, this is the judgment of those that sowed this first fruits. Thus with violence. It says death shall surely come upon them. You know what I'm saying? If you offend his children. So thus with violence, right? Shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So it's not just finna be fire, brim, and hailstone, you know what I'm saying, and everybody flees and the land is destroyed, right? No, people gotta die. It's gotta be some violence, because violence, you know what I'm saying, started this. Violence was the initiating tool to get this thing started, to put it on the train, to put it on the tracks. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Isaiah 47 and 1. Isaiah 47 and 1 reads what? The book of Isaiah chapter 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust. That great millstone that was sinking, guess what? He's telling her also to come down and sit in the dust. Don't take a seat. Sit in the dust. Sit at my feet. Your time is up right now. You're being punished. You're in timeout. I don't care if you get dirty. You know what I'm saying? You had your glorious apparel on for long enough. Your scarlet dress on for long enough. You've been a virgin for long enough. You've been lying saying you was a virgin for... You know they lied on Susanna, right? The things that they were saying that Susanna did, guess what? Great city Babylon did. You know what I'm saying? Great city Babylon was that harlot. Great city Babylon was fornicating with everybody, caused everybody else to be drunk, right? Dealing with the prophets, right? Dealing with the priests and making them become wicked. That was the great city Babylon, right? So 47, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. We're not talking about ancient Babylon. We're talking about the great Babylon, Babylon the Great. We're talking about the daughter, which is spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom and spiritual Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? This is the daughter. You know what I'm saying? As the wise proverb says, as the mother is, so is the daughter. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. The throne has been snatched, right? That's judgment. O daughter of the Chaldeans. O daughter of the sorcerers. The Chaldeans were into sorcery. She's the one that put the world hip to sorcery. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that had the social media. Now everybody got social media. Now everybody, you know what I'm saying, is doing TikTok. Now everybody, you know what I'm saying, is believing in drinking your Ovaltine. That's because of who? That's because they're the ones trying to get to the moon because we said we got to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great. Babylon sorcery, right? For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. You're not going to be called that virgin no more. You're going to be unveiled. You know what I'm saying? Take the millstones, like we just read, verse 2, and grind meal, uncover thy locks. You know what I'm saying? Take your head wrap off because you're no longer comely. You know what I'm saying? Be as the dirt, right? Uncover thy locks, make bare the legs, right? When you take that head wrap off, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of symbolic of dishonoring a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because they put that on for honor. So guess what? We got to take it off. Uncover thy locks. Let us see, right? Make bare the legs. You know what I'm saying? You've been wrapped up for too long. Been wrapped up claiming to be whole, claiming to be pure, claiming to be a virgin, but you open your legs for everybody else. So guess what? We're going to let everybody see. Uncover the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. You know what I'm saying? Uncover the thigh, man. And you uncover that thigh, you're going to see that she has daggers strapped to her thigh. She got a 9mm strapped to her thigh to kill everybody that she deals with. You know what I'm saying? Slowly. She not going to kill you. She not going to shoot you in the heart. She going to kill you in an artery, let you bleed out. You know what I'm saying? So you'd have a slow death where she could look you in the eye. So you know that you went off, and that's the reason why you dying. Because you mess with a harlot, right? So lock it. Where was I at? Let's go to Ezekiel 16:44. Right? Ezekiel 16:44. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16. Salakia, verse 44. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter. Hey, look, that first Babylon was wicked. They made us bow down at the sound of the psaltery and the harp, right? They made us wear their clothes. They changed our names, right? Our names gave reverence to the Most High God. They said we can't have that. You got to be what? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Them names sound terrible. You know what I'm saying? They the ones that put us in prisons. They the ones that bucked up against the Most High God. That was wicked. It says, as they were, so is the daughter. Come down, O daughter of Babylon. Right? So let me keep reading. Let's get the next one. Isaiah 13. Right? And Isaiah 13 is a good chapter, you know what I'm saying, for the destruction of this place. I just want to skim over it real quick. Right? Isaiah 13. We're just going to skim over it so some people can, you know what I'm saying, get kind of a breakdown of what's going on today, right? What's going on right now. Like I said earlier, you are going to be a part of the 2/3 if you're not occupied in prophecy, because that is a commandment, right? Isaiah chapter 13, the burden of Babylon, right? All these people are speaking of Babylon, right? All these people are speaking of how wicked this person is. So when you come to the conclusion of Babylon, you got to come to the conclusion that this place got to be destroyed, right? The burden of Babylon. Right? Remember I said his hand is heavy? You know when you have a heavy burden on you, just can't get it off? That's how heavy his hand is. That's how heavy this burden is. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Right? Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. What is that? That's this. This is the banner. What's the high mountain? All the powers and principalities that's in power right now. It says when the wicked rule, the people mourn. Those are the mountains, right? So lift this up on the high mountain. That's what Isaiah is saying. Upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them. Shake their hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles, right? We shaking their hand. So that's why when you see in prophecy play out with the Taliban and Russia and China, that's why you see the Israelites happy. We shaking their hand. We say, hey, look, come into the gates of the nobles, right? So let's keep reading. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I've also commanded my mighty ones for mine anger, right? Both of those is dealing with the people, the children, right? The northern and the southern kingdom, right? We see those precepts, right? Who he would make mighty in those days, I believe in the book of Hosea, right? Who he sanctified, who are his saints, right? And also his angels, right? I've commanded my sanctified ones, and I've also called my mighty ones for mine anger, right? Just like he made Saul angry, right? When he heard about the heathens, the tidings of the heathens to destroy the nation of Israel, right? To surprise them in a surprise attack. It says the Spirit of the Lord came upon Saul and he was angry, right? Anger kindled in him, right? So I've commanded my sanctified ones. I've also called my mighty ones to rejoice to my mighty ones for mine anger. So people say, why are you so mad? People say, why are we so angry? You know what I'm saying? The gospel shouldn't be preached like that. Guess what? He said, for mine anger. He called us for his anger. That's something that the Christian church don't tell you, that he called us for his anger. Right? We need to make a shirt that say he called us for his anger. You know what I'm saying? All right. Even them that rejoice in my highness. We the ones that rejoicing in his highness. We the ones that keeping his holy days. We the ones that keep the Sabbath. We the one that listen to him and all his words and his advice when it comes to the dietary laws, when it comes to our clothes, fringes, when it comes to being modest. We listen to his advice. Everybody else, they don't rejoice in his highness. They don't even think he's high. They think they're on the same level as him. They think that's their best friend, that's their nigga, that's they pal, that, you know what I'm saying? That's what they think. But we rejoice in his highness. We know he sits on the throne, right? Let's skip down. Verse 5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation, right? So he's going to get some people, and those are going to be his weapons. So the Most High God created everything, right? He created good and evil, even the wicked for the day of evil. So guess what? When he creates something, that's his weapon, right? When he created the Messiah and sent the Messiah, guess what? The Most High God's still the Savior, but he used the tool, an instrument of salvation. That's his weapon. Right, so he can use what? Heathens as Salakia. He can use heathen as his weapon. You know what I'm saying? Let me read something else. Verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, right? And the wicked for their iniquity. Hey, look, that's twofold. He can be talking about the world, the earth, and he's talking about the world of Israel. For it says judgment must start where? At the house of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to punish the world for their evil. That's us. That's the 2/3. And the wicked for their iniquity, right? His judgment. And I will cause that arrogancy of the proud to cease, right? America, right? The home of the brave, or the home of the slave, the land of the free, right? To do whatever you want, to sin how you want to, or the land of the thief, to steal who you want to steal what propaganda you want to teach, right? I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, right? Who's the proudest nation? Right? He's going to cause that to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Right? All those people that's super proud. Right? That's it. That's all I want on that. You know what I'm saying? Just showing his judgment. Just showing his hand. His mighty hand. Right? Let's go to, I'm going to speed this up though. Right? Isaiah 14:1. I'm going to speed it up. I got a whole bunch of precepts, you know what I'm saying, ready for everybody, but I'm gonna speed it up, man. You gotta save some, you know what I'm saying, for later. You know, man's goings are of the Lord. The Spirit's telling me to speed it up and to get to some other precepts, right? Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, right? And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And guess what? We finna be chosen, right? We finna be chosen right now. We always claiming that we're the chosen people, but we finna be chosen right now. He's gonna have mercy and choose Jacob. This is that everlasting mercy that he gave to Solomon, right? This is that word that he gave to David when he said he would save a tent, right? And he would make them the lawgivers, right? To be a light to the rest of the world, to the rest of Israel. Now that the partition is coming together, the partition is being let down and the stick is being put together, the nations can now be one again. But not Jew or Greek, right? But one nation of Israelites under who? Under Christ. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to choose us now. This is choosing season, right? Everybody was in the world. You wanted to choose who you wanted to date. You wanted to choose, you know what I'm saying, what attitude you was in for the day. You wanted to choose your job. Guess what? The Most High God is choosing us now that we have eyes to see and ears to hear, right? And the strangers are going to be joined to us. I put on my story the other day, right? Jacob will be saved out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because when we preaching this prophecy, we got to be apt to teach. We got to be meek. We got to be understanding to know that not all the children of Israel are ready. You know what I'm saying? And none of us are ready. But a lot of us mentally still aren't ready. So you got to encourage your brother and sister and give them the comfort of the scriptures. Right? Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. What's the rod and the staff? Correction, instruction, reproof. That's this word. They comfort you. So you got to give them the comfort too when it comes with prophecy. Because prophecy can get scary. You know what I'm saying? Prophecy can break you down to your knees like Esdras. Prophecy can break you down to your knees like Jeremiah. Right? So let's keep reading. 2nd Esdras 6:9. Right? 2nd Esdras 6:9. Bear with me. 2nd Esdras chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? So you got to give comfort. You got to give comfort through the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, to our people when you preach prophecy. Right? So we know that there's an end coming. Right? And that end, like Daniel said, right, is going to be what? It's going to be soft like clay and hard, you know what I'm saying, like iron. but they can't mix together. So that's how you have confusion. That's how you have a soft and a strong nation, a weak and a strong nation, because we get people in power that want to empower what? Transgenders. You a man, but you grew your hair out and now you're on CNN, right? This is the country that we live in, that's making us accept this wickedness. You know what I'm saying? We live in a weak in a strong nation at the same time. It's confusion. It's confusion here. It's Babylon, and all they do is keep babbling on. You know what I'm saying? So let me read that again. What was that? 2nd Exodus 6:9, right? For Esau is the end of the world, right? So when we see the end of his world, we know that we're getting chose next. It's choosing season. We're being chose, right? And this is judgment, right? We're the beginning of it that followeth, right? Be comforted by the scriptures. Be comforted by the Most High God's word, right? Revelation 13:9. We all know that. That's milk. That's milk, right? Revelation 13:9. A lot of people whose a gift destroyeth the heart. You know what I'm saying? They get uncomfortable when you read Revelation 13:9. They're like, oh, the brothers is going to Revelation 13:9 again. You know what I'm saying? When they out there on camp, you know what I'm saying? And they like, the brothers going to Revelation 13:9 again. They're going to scare away the Gentiles. We're the Gentiles. We're the ones that need this word. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that have the patience and the faith and the hope, right? That is talking about in Revelation 13:9. You know what I'm saying? He said, any of the words that he spoke, he said, lo, I come in the volume of the book. Right? He tells us in the New Testament, any of the words that he spoke, if we speak them and we're offended, or if we're ashamed to say them, he's going to be ashamed of us in that day of judgment. His judgment. Right? So let's get this. Revelation 13:9. Right? I'm going to read it because it's written. Why would I not? Right? And it's going to give some of my brothers and sisters comfort. And it's going to offend some people. So that's why I'm going to read it, because that's what the book was written for. Right? If any man have an ear, let him hear. Right? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You want to sell to people? You want to sell his first fruits? You gonna get sold. You gonna kill. You gonna get killed, right? That's just. That's judgment. Hey, look, I told somebody the other day at camp, I said, this whole judicial system is based off the Bible. But God, the Most High God, is the mighty judge. He's going to put everything into judgment, just like people on earth put stuff into judgment. So you can't be surprised that certain people aren't on the 12 tribes chart list, right? Now we know that there's some people in Africa. We know there's people in other parts of the world that's not on there. But I'm talking about the heathen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised that the so-called white man is not on the 12 tribes charts list. That mean the 12 tribes of Israel chart. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white men raped, robbed, and murdered, right? Let's break that down. Let's get kind of graphic for you so that you can know the evil and wickedness that this man did. Put you on cargo slave ships naked, right? Didn't stacked you on top of each other. He didn't care if you was claustrophobic. You got period blood coming down. People is defecating. People is peeing. People is sick, coughing up blood, throwing up, all that in the same room. You smelling it. It's too hot down there, right? Then they might take you up and just throw you off for no reason. That's wicked. Have you ever heard the term MFer, right? They breeding us like dogs to get pure bred slaves, blindfolding us, right? Just like you would do a dog, put them in the same cage, and next thing you know, you had sex with your mom. That's what they did to us. Gator bait. Can you imagine putting a big hook into a baby to try to catch a gator, just to eat an abomination? That's what they did to us. So it doesn't surprise me that they're not on the 12 tribes chart list when people keep asking me that. It doesn't surprise me that the Chinese, who eat bats, who eat snakes, who eat dog, who eat cat, who eat all the abominations of the world, the wash pot of the earth, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't surprise me they're now on the 12 chart list. It doesn't surprise me, because the Most High God has common sense. He's a righteous judge. He's going to give judgment, right? So let me read that again. Revelation 13, and where was I at? 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience. Hold up. Here is the patience. This is what we're patient for this stuff to happen. And the faith. We always preach faith. We always say the New Testament is about faith, right? We always talk about how great faith is. Increase my faith. This is faith right here. Of the what? Of the saints. Saint, that's a pure word. To be called a saint, that's something pure. That's something set apart. That's something consecrated. That's something sanctified. And the saints are waiting for this judgment to play out. I'm a saint. I don't know about you, but I'm a saint. Right? Let's go to Salakia, Galatians 6, verse 7. Galatians 6, verse 7 through 9. Right? We finna wrap it up. Galatians 6, 7 through 9. I got 2 more precepts. Bear with me, please. Salakia. You know you got a lot of brothers that might say, hey, look, he not flipping the pages fast enough. He's not learned enough. And they'll click off the lie. We're not dealing with that. Galatians 6:9. Galatians 6:7, Salakia. Book of Galatians chapter 6. Salakia, man. Keep going right past it. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Right? You can mock the messengers of God, but you can't mock God. Right? You can blaspheme us, but you can't blaspheme the Spirit. Right? Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right? So what goes around comes around. Just like 2 Esdras, 5:42. He likens his judgment to a ring. You put a ring on, right? It never ends. It keeps going around in circles. You know what I'm saying? So what goes around comes around. Slavery. You know what I'm saying? Killeth with the sword, kill with the sword. Sell and exchange. Bondmen, bondwomen, bondwomen. Con. So, last verse, Isaiah 14:21. A lot of brothers don't like reading this either. They get uneasy, especially when they're in front of the heathen and they know the heathen is listening, right? Oh, the heathen were just about to accept the fact that we were Israelites, and you had to go pull out Isaiah 14:21. You had to offend them. You had to tell them the truth. You had to become their enemy, right? Salakia, right? Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21 reads, prepare slaughter. Remember when it said, throw that millstone and thus with violence? Hey, the Bible's consistent. His hand is heavy. His judgment will come. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, right? For all the things that their fathers did. Hey, look, we suffer for all the sins that our fathers did when they hung and crucified the Most High God's Son, right? When they committed idolatry, when they participated in Saturnalia, when they made temples to other gods. Hey, we suffered those sins. We're still suffering those sins. You think I got the job that I want? No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate laborious work because, you know, it's commanded for us not to. But guess what? I want to be laborious, you know what I'm saying, getting the increase of my own fruits. You know what I'm saying? The increase of my own work. Not giving my work and my labor to somebody else. That's slavery, right? I want to be able to farm and till my own land, take care of my own sheep, right? And live out the parable of how he treats us as his people. You know what I'm saying? That's Salakia. They do not. Salakia, I'm going to read from the top. Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land. So that's understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's understanding and wisdom. If we don't do it, right? Guess what? If we don't do it, it's not going to matter, man. They're going to come back and do the same thing, right? That's why he told Saul to do it. And when Saul didn't do it, he said, I repented from making Saul king. Because guess what? They came back and they reigned again. You know what I'm saying? Nor fill the face of the world with the cities, right? And with that, I'm going to say shalom. Hope somebody was edified through the Spirit. We're still doing this 30 for 30, hoping that, you know what I'm saying, the nation of Israel will be saved. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm going to say shalom. You guys have a good rest of the day. And we'll be back on here tomorrow, right? Khan.